What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats? It's Luce and I am back again this week with another Let's Talk video because I think there is something really important that I haven't actually spoken about too much on my channel. And honestly, when you guys message me on Instagram, this is the main thing that people ask me about. And so I thought it'd be really helpful for you guys if I just did a whole general video about friendship, making friends, toxic friendships, bullying, literally everything to do with friends and your social life, I guess. So I asked everybody on my Instagram to ask me questions about any concerns they have with friends, personal experiences, any general questions. I've just had a look at that and made a few notes on what I'm going to be talking about. I've come up with like two main topics for my video. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is toxic friendship, and the second thing I'm going to be talking about is like making friends. First of all, I just want to put out a quick disclaimer. Everything that I'm talking about and all the advice I'm giving you are just suggestions based on my own experiences with friends. So I want you to take everything with a pinch of salt. I'm not trying to say this is exactly the way you should do this. I am not professionally trained to be a therapist or any of that sort of thing. I am just giving you guys help based on what I have experienced myself. I was bullied all through my primary school years. Not severely, you know, some kids have some really terrible experiences with bullying. It wasn't ever physical, but it was constant and it was from different people. I have always struggled to make friends. I didn't really have any proper friends until about year 5, and I always experienced anxiety around making new friends. Teenage years are really confusing. You're trying to work out who you are, and then on top of that you're trying to do schoolwork, please your parents, but also you're trying to fit in with a group of friends when you're still trying to work out what you are like as a person. I don't know if that makes sense. I want to let you know if you are experiencing any issues with friends, bullying, toxic friendship, literally anything, you are not alone. I think that's the main thing for this video that I want to just say before I talk about anything specifically. I didn't realize how many people go through exactly the same situations as I went through. I just remember saying to my parents, why am I the only person that just doesn't fit in with any group? Why am I constantly changing friends? I just want to say, from seeing all of your questions come through on Instagram, it made me realize hundreds and thousands of people go through these things every single day, and definitely at the time I thought I was the only one. You are not alone, and you will see from this video that actually I went through very similar things to what some of you are experiencing now. Like during your teenage years, people change. As I said before, you're trying to work out who you are, what you believe in as a person. As you're discovering yourself, you kind of change, and then you sometimes don't click with the same people that you used to click with, and that is totally natural and normal. The first thing I am going to be discussing, as I said before, is toxic friendships. It's really interesting because I was expecting to get lots of questions on bullying, but oh my god, most of the questions were about toxic friendships, and I now think that that is kind of what has replaced bullying, as in the people closest to you can sometimes be the worst person in your life, and in a way it is manipulation and bullying. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be talking about in terms of that is the signs. A lot of you have said, how do I know if my friend is toxic? I think the main thing I would say is think about what is going on for you when you're with them. Are you happy? Are you really excited? Do you love being around them? Or when you're with them, do you feel a little bit insecure, a little bit down, not quite yourself, and then you come away actually really drained and sad and just feeling quite down? Kind of working out whether it is healthy or unhealthy. I wouldn't initially go, oh my god, they're a toxic friend, I have to get rid of them straight away, because actually quite a lot of the time these things can be solved, and actually their friendship is worth working out. So don't immediately say, oh my god, I felt sad after seeing her for one day, so I'm gonna cut her off. But just be aware of how they're making you feel. Now, the next thing on from that people were asking was, how do you deal with them? And if you've gotten to the point where you're like, I kind of want to make new friends, I don't want to hang out with them anymore, and a lot of you were worried about how to kind of move to other friends or other groups or cut them off without being rude, or what do you do if they're still in your class? I can't really advise you specifically on this because every single situation is different, and I can't tell all of you exactly how to cut off a toxic friend. But I think maybe just letting you know how you can be a better friend yourself might help you, first of all, to see when others are doing that to you, but it also helps you to be a better person. And as I've kind of addressed in these videos before, if we better ourselves, it can have an effect on the people around us, and therefore they become better. Judgment, I think that's a huge issue, and yes, you know, judgment is human nature. We all judge intrinsically, and that is never ever going to stop. I would encourage you guys to just think about when you judge, think, oh, that outfit's awful, or she looks a bit weird. You know, obviously we all have these initial judgments in our head. If they then come up and speak to you, or you go up and speak to them, and just be really aware that you've made these judgments, but then put them to one side and actually be really open to getting to know them as a person and look past their looks or their appearance. So obviously I'm not saying don't judge people, because we all do and we always will. Be mindful that you're making judgments, but push them to the side and be open, and don't let them affect your friendships with people that could actually be really great influences on your life. Also, I would say honestly the most important thing in a friendship is trust. I mean, it was definitely a huge thing when I was at school, but going around telling people other people's secrets, or, you know, stuff that people have said to you in confidence, you go and tell another friend. And that was a really big issue at my school when I was in friendship groups, and it broke down a lot of friendships and relationships. And it's horrible when somebody is going around telling other people something that you've said to them, thinking that they weren't going to tell anybody else. Now that is definitely a sign of a toxic friendship, in the sense that you can't trust them because you're telling them things and they are going around telling everybody else, or speaking about it behind your back to other people. It's really interesting because when somebody comes up to you and says, okay, so Linda told me this secret the other day and she told me not to tell anyone, but I'm gonna tell you. It makes you feel really special. You're like, oh my god, okay, cool. By telling them somebody else's secret, you're adding something to their friendship, so you're putting effort in, you're giving them something, and that's like a close thing in your friendship that you two have. Because of how important trust is, keep secrets to yourselves. Someone has entrusted you with really private, emotional information, whatever it may be, and it is not your place to go and tell others. And there are so many more things you can do to validate a friendship with somebody else over telling them other people's secrets. It's a negative, toxic cycle where if somebody comes to you telling you Linda's secret, then you're going to think, oh okay, that's okay for me to do then, and then you go and tell Margaret Linda's secret, and you've been told not to tell anybody, but you keep doing, and it's like it's a cycle. People go around and keep telling everybody each other's secrets because we tell each other, and then it makes you think that that's okay. If you don't want it to go toxic between you and a friend, maybe if they're telling you a secret that they've heard from somebody else, just say, look, don't tell me this, I don't want to know. You have that friendship with that person and they have told you privately, and I don't want to know. Don't involve yourself in drama and unnecessary gossip, because that is when a friendship can get toxic, and you don't want all that unnecessary stress, or oh my god, I've told someone a secret that I shouldn't have told and they've now gone and told blah blah blah, and now I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Like that was literally my whole secondary experience. Really try and make sure that your friends can trust you. That is like probably the best quality in a friend, to know that you can absolutely 100% trust them. In this day and age, with social media and technology advancing the way it is, everything is so instant. You can get instant responses, instant likes, quick replies. Everything is at the tip of your fingers, so it's really easy for us to become lazy in this society. With friendships, that's so not the case. You have to put so much effort into a friendship, and so just think about what you can do today to be a better friend. You know, maybe just text someone and say, how are you doing? Someone you haven't spoken to in ages. Reconnect and say, hey, I miss you. So a lot of people have said, how do I get out of a toxic friendship? I'm really unhappy with a group of friends. What do I do? It is so easy to just become really exclusive within a friendship group and think 4 or 5 people are my friends and I don't talk to anybody else. And then that's when you get really trapped, and then when friendships start becoming toxic, you have no escape because they're your only friends. Just think about other people that you might really like in a maths class, or there's that girl who's really lovely in English that you're not going to hang out with every single day, but if you just have conversations with them every time you pass them in a hallway, or smile at them, or just give them a text, that then means you then can start building up a wider group of friends that you don't have to hang out with. But if you start having a toxic friendship, you have an escape. You can just go and hang out with that one person. I definitely had a lot of experiences with toxic friendships, especially during secondary school, and I panicked. And it is really horrible when you're thinking, I really don't want to hang out with these people because they're manipulating me, they're making me sad, I'm putting more into the friendship than I think they are. Keep them at arm's length, but don't completely cut them off. But obviously everybody's experiences and situations are different. Now the second part of this video is about making friends. Making friends for me goes to when I started at Hurtwood, my college where I met Kate. So the main sort of questions that I was getting surrounding making friends is people saying, I feel so judged if I ask to hang out with people. Like if I say, oh, do you mind if I sit with you at lunch? People really judge you, or you feel like you can't go up and speak to a certain people because they're cool. The last thing that people were saying is that they don't fit in, or they feel like they can't be themselves around new people. Going up to a group of new people that you don't know at all and trying to make friends with them is one of the hardest things to do, in my opinion. It is so scary, so so nerve-wracking and it makes you so anxious, but it doesn't have to be. So to give you a bit of personal experience, I remember when I first started Hurtwood, I went to my first lesson, kind of fine, didn't really know anyone. Then I went and sat in my next lesson, and my teacher didn't call my name out on the register. Turns out I'd walked into the wrong class. Then I had a free period, and you're supposed to go to a specific room in that free period, but I didn't know where it was. So I remember phoning up my mum, crying, saying, I don't know anybody here, I don't know where I'm supposed to be. And in the end, she made me go up to reception and ask them where I should be. And it was just the worst thing. I didn't want to go and ask someone for help, but honestly, asking for help, even though it seems so hard and so unachievable at the time, once you've done it, it makes life so much easier. So, you know, I went to reception, asked for help. I then found out where I should have been, so I went up and found the room and just kind of stayed there. Then the next hurdle for me was we had a tour of the school, and you're supposed to be in groups, and there were some people who already knew each other, or some people who had met from lessons already that were kind of already in groups. And I was coming from my free period and I did not know anyone still. I again phoned my mum and I said, I can see a couple of people that look kind of nice and they're just in a little group on their own. And my mum was like,
go and talk to them, Lucy.
Literally just go up to them and talk to them. And now they are some of my best friends, and it took everything in me to go up to them and just be like, hi, I'm Lucy, nice to meet you, don't really know anyone yet, so could I be in your group? You have to lose every sense of your ego in order to go and do that, because, you know, you will come across as nervous, shy and embarrassed. But I think the key is not letting the embarrassment take over. Staying in there. If they're like laugh at you for doing something a bit embarrassing or nervous or shy, laugh with them. I think one of the best things to be able to do in life is to be able to laugh at yourself. Obviously don't allow that all the time, for then that friendship should just be them laughing at you. You know, have a bit of banter, but also be able to like push back. Every single thing that you do that pushes yourself out of your comfort zone will come with benefits. So if you're going to a new school, push yourself, just go up and sit with a group of people, or ask a teacher where you're supposed to be, because at the end of the day, that stops the embarrassment from carrying out. And I think what comes hand in hand with that is reacting to judgment. Don't automatically assume that because someone's kind of like turned away from you or given their friend a weird look, don't automatically think, oh my god, they don't like me. And I am the biggest culprit of this. I read into everything, and every look, every raised eyebrow, every person's body language, I'm like, oh my god, they don't like me, do they? They don't like me. I'm being weird, they don't like me. And 99% of the time we're wrong. We just overthink and we're just being sensitive. Just focus on being who you are. And I know in some situations you're a bit like, well, I don't really know who I am, or I don't know how I want to come across in front of a group of people. And we're all culprits of putting on acts and putting on fake laughs, fake interests to get on and fit in with a group of people. But you know, the main thing is just focus on being who you are. If you don't really know what that is, think about the things that you really like in your idols, in your other friends, in celebrities. Think about what you like in them and try and channel that. Do I want them to think that I'm really kind? Or will offer to buy them a drink, or offer to walk with them to their next class. And then just like offering that one thing, someone will think, oh, she's really kind, or she's really thoughtful. Fake it till you make it. If you want to appear confident, just fake confidence and it will just come naturally after a while. It's just the acceptance of not everybody is going to like me to people. But that's kind of everything that I wanted to talk about. So like this video if you would like a part 2, and comment down below what you want me to do next, if you have any other things that you would like me to talk about in my Let's Talk series, or if there are other things that you would like me to address in terms of friendships. If you have certain experiences that you've been through or are going through and you want me to talk about them more specifically. From Instagram I can see that all of you are going through this sort of thing too, so you are not alone. We are all in this together, and we're starting back at school again. So I hope you all enjoy being confident and lovely and not judging people, trustworthy, we are loyal, and obviously you're not always going to be perfect. Obviously there are going to be some things where you've really messed up, but it is how you come out of that and say, you know, look, I'm really sorry, that wasn't me, I wasn't nice in that situation, or you know, I shouldn't have told this person that. And we all go through problems where we've not quite done the right thing. Remember to subscribe if you did enjoy this video, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.